Farmview with Kieran O'Connor on WLR.
Brought to you by GlanviaConnect.com.
Hello and welcome to Farmview. Well, it's Kieran O'Connor here with your weekly farming programme. Would you believe it's our final programme for 2020 as we have our Farmview auction this Saturday morning. Well, on this week's programme I'll discuss the new water regulations. They've just been published for 2021. I'll also have an update on solar panels, and indeed we'll hear all about Glanbia Ireland's Farmgen Solar Power Bundle, which was launched over a year ago. We'll get an update on the uptake of the solar panels. And plus also we'll talk to well-known celebrity chef Eunice Power of Eunice Power Catering in Dungarvan with some seasonal tips ahead of the festive season.
Farmview with Kieran O'Connor on WLR.
With GlanviaConnect.com, Ireland's biggest online farming shop and more.
Well, new water regulations for 2021 as regards nitrates and indeed water quality are out in the public domain at the moment, and obviously a very important area for farmers looking into 2021. So to quickly go through the new regulations and what's involved, earlier I spoke to Owen Power, his business and technology dairy specialist with Teagasc in Waterford. Owen, first of all, these new regulations, complicated but so important for everybody.
Yes, Kieran. Look, there's regulations there for derogation farmers and they're well aware. These are just extra regulations that are coming on board and have been updated there in the last 2 weeks. So it's just to make people aware of it and to talk to their advisor on it.
Now, we've spoken to Carl Summers as regards the whole ASSET programme, and a lot of hard work going on with all the soil testing and the trailing shoes as regards slurry, protected urea, hedgerows going in there. What extra is involved now, or what's different about these new regulations?
The new regulations, I suppose, going forward, look, water quality is the big issue that's on people's agenda, and look, we're trying to improve the quality of rivers and streams across the country. So these extra measures are brought in to protect these water courses and improve the quality of them. There's two types of waters on farms. There's these blue lines which are on OSI maps, which are water courses, and then
so they're rivers that you'd see. We said the Blackwater River, the Suir, and so on.
Yeah, they're very important rivers, run through our farms, and we have to protect those. And they're trying to exclude animals from those water courses and keep your water troughs more than 20 metres away from them. The other waters then are anything that can carry water on farms, and this applies to any farmer that they're well aware that are in derogations, and they're stocked at 2 cows to the hectare or more. They have to, whether they're exporting slurry or not, it applies to all of them.
Now, as regards stocking rate, obviously that's key, and obviously particularly in the dairy area. Before we come on here, you mentioned the stocking rate. You're talking about a stocking rate of 170 kg, which equates to about 2 cows per hectare, or a cow to an acre and a quarter. So really, that is the key message there, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the key message. And it's not heavily stocked, and being in Waterford, we're fairly heavily stocked. We're a main dairy area of the country. So this is going to apply to a lot of farmers, these new regulations, and also they're increasing the stocking rate, of the cow for the year coming as well. So that's going to, Now,
of course, we mentioned slurry and huge work going on with the trailing shoe, fertilisers and nitrogen, of course, the protected urea. The whole area of liming has a role to play as well.
Yes, it's very important now going forward. Just the first of any nutrient that you look after for the soil is get your liming. So any farmer that's over 170 exporting slurry this year in 2020 has to do a liming plan next year. They have to, set out what they're going to do for the next 4 years in terms of their soil samples and how much lime they have to spread. They also have to take on that technology of trailing shoes and dribble bars as well. So that's an extra measure on those farmers.
So as regards farmers, it's very complicated. Obviously, we're coming to the end of 2020, looking into 2021. Animals won't be turned out till early February as such. Early January is so important, guys. Talk to their advisor and get the up-to-date regulation that's out there. So important, guys. Go about it straight away with their advisor. If not before the end of this year, definitely early next year.
It's most important this year coming that in the next 2 to 3 weeks that they make contact with their advisor and go through what implications will they have for their farm in 2021.
You must be delighted at the support farmers have given, and speaking to Carl Summers as regards the whole ASSET programme here. I know he was working in the Blackwater Clonade, the Dungarvan catchment up in Tallow, now moving down towards Waterford City, but the effort around the Kilmac area, the effort going in has been huge, and the response you're getting so far. So I'm sure farmers will take this on board and be able to run with this.
Yeah, look, we're an exporting nation, so we have to show our green image, and farmers are buying into that, and they understand why they have to take on these extra measures and look a green image all the time.
Well, Owen, as I said, there's new water regulation for 2021. Owen Power, business and technology dairy specialist at Teagasc. Owen, listen, thanks for the update, and the big message for farmers: talk to your advisor in the next few weeks, because the new 2021 regulations are just around the corner. Owen, thanks for talking to us, and best of luck, and happy Christmas and happy New Year.
And the same to all your viewers, Kieran. Thank you.
But at last year's National Ploughing Championships, hard to believe it was in 2019, September 2019, Glanbia Ireland launched their new Farmgen Initiative, Glanbia Ireland's Sustainable Energy Farmgen Solar Power Bundle Initiative. And indeed, obviously a lot has happened since then, but the man who's the project manager for the Farmgen Initiative, and that's Damien Sutton, who joins us on the line from Glanbia Ireland. Damien, welcome to our programme.
Thanks, Kieran.
Damien, the whole Farmgen Solar Power Bundle and Initiative, you might explain to our listeners what it was all about. Obviously, COVID has had a big effect on the rollout this year, but you might go back to launching it there last September 2019.
It was September 2019, Kieran, we launched the Farmgen Initiative. The then Minister for Agriculture, Michael Creed, and our own CEO, Jim Bergen, launched the initiative along with our partners, SSE, Electricity and Activate Energies. So I suppose from there on, we moved then to the ploughing, which we had a serious amount of interest at the ploughing. Went very well. A lot of interest and enough inquiries to keep us going for all of 2020 and 21, big large parts of 21. So I suppose the bundle itself is a partnership with, as we said, SSE Electricity, who are the largest providers of green energy on the island, and Activate Solar Energies, who at this stage have up on 12,000 installations done and are the largest installer of solar in Ireland.
Now, of course, renewable solar energy, the whole solution to that whole area is so important, and because the whole sustainable farming, it's an area really that farmers have bought into, can see the benefits of this, particularly with the whole climate change initiative and the whole sustainable farming and environmental issues. And definitely it's an area, it's a real positive, particularly for milk suppliers. And indeed, you might run through the benefits of putting those panels on your milking parlour.
Yeah, I suppose, look at our own farmers and co-op members are very bought into new technology and adapt very well to it, and have shown a keen interest in this, especially in this project. It feeds into our sustainable agenda and the sustainability on farms. So what we're doing really is we're offering farmers a PV bundle package to power their farms from the rooftops, basically, and help power energy-intensive activities on farm, I suppose, Kieran, such as milk cooling, vacuum pumps, water heating. These three processes alone on farm probably account for 80% of the energy consumed on any dairy farm. That's where we're coming from there. We also, as part of the package, we offer a smart monitoring. Smart monitoring basically measures exactly what consumption is in each area and can give farmers a active reading on every half-hour consumption. So I suppose what we've seen it doing for farmers on the smart monitoring, there's been great interest in that part of it. It really focuses guys and farmers onto where they're using energy and how they're also driving further efficiencies by changing some of their habits going forward.
Now, the average cost, I know it's very hard to give an average, and we had the big open day down at Shane Fitzgerald, one of the monitor farmers down there in Portlaw, a big open day, and I saw the panel there that he'd fitted in. He was happy with that. The rough cost involved, and as regards payback, as regards farmers getting the payback, not to mind the benefits for the environment, but from a payback point of view from a farmer, and the amount involved initially and the number of year payback.
Okay, so I suppose the packages start around 11,000 up to whatever size guys want to go, because we're taking in pig farmers, dairy farmers and everything. So there's a wide range. What we like to do is to size the system, talk to the farmer, see where his energy usage is, see what time of the day it's at, and sell him the package and provide him with a package that fits his usage best. Typically, on a lot of farms, we're looking at a 5 to 8 year payback, depending on what way the farms are set up themselves, because there is accelerated capital allowance on this, so there is a big incentive for lads to invest in solar. So I suppose typical payback from 5 to 7 years.
Right. Of course, it will reduce the carbon footprint, and it's very much eco-friendly and environmentally friendly. As regards the uptake, obviously this year was scuttled with COVID, but as regards throughout the Glanbia Group, first of all, uptake, and then particularly down here in Waterford in the southeast, what has it been like?
The uptake has been immense, very, very good, and as we say, farmers always adopt to new technology, and this offering is no different to them. Because we have installations up until yesterday evening, we have installations carried out over 11 counties on the Glanbia patch. From Cavan to Cork, here is what we have done. A massive uptake in the southeast of the country, a lot of solar down in the southeast of the country. But suppose we're in 11 counties now at this, with further installations scheduled for the rest of this month and into 2021.
Obviously 2021 is a great opportunity, obviously, because the upscuttling of this year, indeed, it will improve efficiency, not alone in your farm, the efficiency there, but in your home as well. So if people want to find out more about this whole early Farmgen sustainable energy solutions and of course the whole solar power bundle, who's best to contact?
So there's various different ways you can get in contact with us. I suppose through our whole branch network, anyone in the branch will help anyone out. So we have our branch network, we have our business manager network, our milk team development, or people can go on to www.farmgen.ie,
right,
or they can call 1890 928 899.
So as you say, they're local. The guy they deal with, be it a business manager, be it their milk manager, quality manager, they'll have the details. And as you say, get onto direct into Farmgen, or obviously Glanbia Connect as well .com. So Farmgen, the solar power bundle, has been a great success. Well done, Damien, to you and all involved. It was a great initiative. Obviously a bit sidelined this year because of COVID, but here's looking forward to a big uptake in 2021, and I'm sure you'll have a big uptake down here in Waterford in the southeast. Damien Sutton, project manager for Farmgen at Glanbia, Ireland. Damien, thanks for taking our call, and best of luck for the remainder of this year and particularly for 2021. Thanks for talking to us.
Thanks very much, Kieran.
Farmview with Kieran O'Connor on WLR.
With GlanbiaConnect.com. Thousands of products in the palm of your hand.
And welcome back to part 2 of Farmview. Now, before I talk to Eunice Power of Eunice Power Catering, well-known celebrity chef from Dungarvan, let's have a look at some items from our farming calendar. First of all, of course, turning to our marts, don't forget this Saturday is the final sale in New Ross Mart, and the first sale of the new year in New Ross will take place on Saturday the 9th with cattle and calves, while they'll also have a sheep sale on Monday the 4th. While at Dungarvan, we've done a final sale of cattle and calves at Dungarvan Mart on Monday next, with the first sale of the new year for 2021 on the Monday the 11th of January. And of course, as I mentioned at the outset, our Farmview auction takes place this Saturday. It's been a great hit over the last number of years. We've raised some serious funds for St Vincent de Paul. Once again, we'll hope we'll get your support on Saturday morning. We'll be taking bids from 8:30. I'll be joined by Sean Organ, and myself will be joined by Declan Prendergast and Tom Power, who will be manning the phones. And the all-important number for our Farmview auction, with a fabulous array of farming and non-farming items, is 058 23 445. That's 058 23 445. Saturday morning Farmview auction commencing at 8:30.
Farmview with Kieran O'Connor on WLR.
With GlanbiaConnect.com. Ireland's biggest online farming shop and more.
Well, as always at this time of the year, we'd like to go along to Powersfield House to meet the lady herself, Eunice Power Catering, and of course Ann Chips on the Quay in Dungarvan, to give us some timely tips for this very, very busy period. Eunice, hard to believe it's a year since I had a chat with you.
I know, I feel I'm like your pet, that I come out just at Christmas. Kieran, you know, yeah. I'm all year round, I'm not just for Christmas. No, it is hard to believe that time of year has come round, and like this year has been such a quick year, such a turbulent year, and it's great the way people have been so resilient and supported local. We've really seen that in Dungarvan this year.
I suppose from your own business, obviously from the catering, outside catering took a real hammering. Then on the other side, your and chips, from a takeaway point of view, I suppose it was benefit from the
yeah, it was. And chips was just, it's very new. It's just in its second year of business, and it kind of grew steadily throughout the year. And I'm delighted with it, and it was great for me to be able to spend time there. The catering business in the beginning was a bit of a shock, but you know what? It's kind of nice just to relax a little bit as well.
Did you find that you still got some very small weddings, or was it a case of people just put it off till next year?
A lot of people put it off till next year. I'd say probably about 80% put it off to next year. And then the people who went ahead this year, they really were traumatised, because they were sort of lurching from weekend to weekend during the summer, not knowing what they could do. But some people just had in their heads they wanted to get married this year, and they did. And we had beautiful small weddings, and small is beautiful. They were really nice, they were great fun, and people had a lovely time.
I suppose one benefit of this has brought people together, and particularly looking into Christmas, families are really coming together as a family, as against going to parties here, there and everywhere and events. It's very much going to be family. That's why from a cooking and baking point of view, and from a house point of view, it's never been more important.
No, it hasn't been, and people are really they're really thinking about what they're going to have for Christmas. We see it now that people are supporting local ingredients so much. I was in Country Store the other day, and somebody was asking Connor, when are the sprouts coming in? And he said, the sprouts, I want the sprouts. I want Lawrence Hanrahan sprouts. And Lawrence Hanrahan supplies lovely sprouts and onions, and it's fabulous. Yeah, they're outside the shop on big stalks, and beside them there are wreaths that somebody local makes. And then of course, just with our local growers, we've got rooster potatoes, which are perfect for your roast potatoes for Christmas, for gratin potatoes, and great for mash. They come from the Ryans of Balnacorty. Cauliflower has taken on a whole new kind of life in the last year or so. It's been promoted by chefs like Osha Lengi to roast baked cauliflower. So basically, get your cauliflower florets, toss them a bit of salt, some nice spice, a bit of olive oil, and roast it in the oven. You get this fabulous nutty flavour. And of course, our cauliflower is fab. When I'm going to school on the Friary, I'd say it being picked by the lynches.
Right.
And when I'm delivering to school the Friary, my school days are over, thank God. And so it's great. We can see the cabbage and the cauliflower is being brought in as we're going about our business in the morning.
The Rhines have been unbelievable, really, that they've developed the market gardening, because a lot of people had moved away from it in the region.
Yeah, they did. And I suppose down here our soil is so good for market gardening. It's we've lovely sandy soil, but no, they've got a tremendous product, and they're great local suppliers.
And of course, Ardmore, then the home of the carrots.
Oh, Liam Lynch, the home of Liam Lynch, first of all, and then the carrots. Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, no, his carrots they're unbelievable. They're so lovely and crisp, not like sort of bendy imported things that we get. And then of course with the O'Donnells and their lovely parsnips, and parsnips are absolutely gorgeous at the moment.
I was out there during the year, and to see the family run, his dad as active as ever, and the whole family getting together, producing those beautiful products. Indeed, they're involved with carrots, but their parsnips are renowned nationally.
Yeah, I actually, and I don't know them myself. I must get to know them in the springtime.
We must get you out.
Yeah, but I love it. I certainly love their parsnips. And like at Christmas time with some really nice vintage Knockanore cheese, if you just parboil them, dry them off a little bit, toss a little bit of olive oil, cheese, and finish them off in the oven, divine. And we can keep it all at the county. There's Eamon from Knockanore, of course, has his fabulous cheese.
Wolfgang in Knockalar.
And Wolfgang, yeah. We have so much going on. Actually, we use Eamon's cheese in our cheesy garlic chips and on chips, and they're fab. People just love them. The cheese is amazing.
But really, we're spoiled, and indeed, you have a list there in front of me of, my God, it's only when you actually write down the list of what's available, produced locally here in West Waterford.
Oh, it's amazing. And we've got some lovely new suppliers as well. Liam O'Donnell's Legacy Cider. It's only 3 or 4 years on the market. Last year, did a gorgeous mulled apple and mulled cider. Did you try that,
It's
Kieran?
beautiful.
It's absolutely lovely. And it's gluten-free, so it's wonderful for people.
It's down my alley.
Yeah, exactly.
It's my reason for sticking with the cider.
Yeah, no, absolutely gorgeous. We have the Lismore Food Company have really taken things to a whole new level this year. Their hampers, that is fabulous hat box. Oh my God, they're just packed full of delicious Waterford ingredients. And then we have Dungarvan Brewing Company, and we use their beers all the time for our puddings, to soak the fruit in. And I use it for batter and things as well. They're like a great product, and I love the way they keep every season. They reintroduce, or they introduce a new cider. They have the seaweed cider, and they have the Cumra cider, and that's a beer rather, not cider, beer, cider. Dungarvan Brewing Company, but amazing range of beers.
And of course, up in Ballyduff, then we have the Blackwater Distillery, which is really onto all heights, and indeed winning awards left, right, and centre.
Yeah, and they've got a little club now, and every month you can get a new gin from them. So I think this month it was like a cranberry and a Christmas pudding gin. I have them at home. I'm kind of looking at them.
You're sparing them for the festivities.
I'm sparing them, yeah.
One thing you're very keen of every Christmas is people must enjoy. Don't get stressed out. And each year you remind people, look, enjoy it, prepare well.
Yeah, 100%, Kieran. It's funny. My first memory of preparing for Christmas was my next door neighbour growing up, Joan Kern, used to always soak the Marathat peas on Christmas Eve, and I thought, God, she was so organised, and they have their potatoes peeled. Like, she was a great woman, and a great
big family to look after.
A big family to look after. Yeah. So I think about that. About preparing for Christmas. Get your ham cooked the day before, get it roasted, get it baked off. Have your red cabbage done, or indeed buy it. You can buy your stuffing in country store. Carrots, parsnips. I mean, you could even parboil them the day before to roast them off on the day. Keep everything down to the minimum, because if you're in a house like mine, I have 4 men in my house, and none of them are that busy about the kitchen. So unless I'm going to get stressed and not like Christmas, I have to be very organised beforehand.
So would you start Christmas Eve, or even the day before Christmas Eve?
I'd start Christmas Eve morning. Okay, I'd start Christmas Eve. Well, I have my pudding made and my cake made and everything else, and I'd start Christmas Eve morning, and then I'm going to have Christmas with my parents this year, so we'll share that.
Your mum has always been a great advisor for you. She's been a real touchstone for you over the years.
She's amazing. And in fact, last night we sat at the kitchen table and made our wreaths for Christmas, for the doors and for graves. And
you're so organised.
Not that we're so organised, but part of Christmas preparation for me is sitting down with my mum doing things, and that's when you have the chat. And it reminds me of when we were small, getting ready for Dungarvan's show, and you'd be up half the night getting things ready, or doing whatever we did. We liked just sitting down at the table and working away and having our chat while we're working. We're both industrious women, Kieran. Yeah.
Eunice, of course, also you're very very much involved and well renowned as a celebrity chef, and very much involved with RT. How is that going for you? How has that experience been for you on the afternoon show?
It's been brilliant actually this year. I think John Garvin's very well represented with Paul Flynn
and
myself.
You're always great to plug it yourself and Paul. You've been great ambassadors for
sometimes they have to pull us in a little bit, rein us in a little bit. There are other towns in Ireland, right. But no, it's going really well. I mean, I think both Paul and I sort of have a weekly slot there and really enjoy it. I mean, it's been very difficult for RTE to kind of manage everything because you have to be really careful, and so it's we just have to be really, really careful about where we go and what we do. So
Eunice, I suppose we've all learned a lot this year because of COVID. It's brought everyone together, everyone to revalue it. We're all running around with red hot flies, and everyone was just jumping from A to B. I think it's got everyone one positive, if there could be a positive. It's also brought people together. So your wish, far alone for this Christmas, but for 2021?
Well, for 2021, I hope that the vaccine is successful and the people get their freedom back. And I really hope that we all learn, me included, from this year. Stop running around as much as we did. Like, honestly, I haven't enjoyed a summer more or a winter more. Been walking and swimming and enjoying quality of life. And I'm really now rethinking, the future.
Well, Eunice, listen, you're always so positive, even these down times. But listen, I know you're a woman that's well organised, but you've been a great ambassador for West Wafford, for the food industry. We know West Wafford Food Festival this year, but we come back bigger and better than last year. Yourself and Paul Flynn have done a great job. Country Store here and Arkeen stores in Wafford likewise, promoting local products because we have the best in Ireland. And well done to you, and best of luck with your and chips and of course your catering business into 2021.
Thank you very much, Kieran.
And before I go on the racing and point-to-point front, we had a good weekend again for local Waterford connections. Cross Channel, a nice winner for Capajock Tom Queely at Lingfield, while Henry de Bromwell was back in the winners' enclosure at Punchestown and again at Dundalk on Wednesday last. While on the point-to-point front, Tallow rider James Hannon, he's having a great season. He was among the winners at the Bull to point-to-point fixture last weekend. Well, that's about it for this special edition of Farmview, our last Farmview for the year. Once again, my thanks to Ollie and Sean for all their help, not alone this week, but throughout 2020. Don't forget the Farmview auction Saturday morning. We'll be taking bids from 9:30. Great array of farming and non-farming items. The all-important number for Saturday morning's Farmview auction is 058 23445. 058 23445. Sean Organ and myself will be hosting the programme, and we'll be joined by Declan Pendergast and Tom Power. So hopefully you'll support us as you have in the last number of years for the St. Vincent de Paul and of course the WLR Christmas Appeal. So from myself, Kieran O'Connor, stay safe, and hopefully I'll have your company on Saturday morning for the Farmview auction.
Farmview with Kieran O'Connor on WLR.
With GlanbiaConnect.com. Thousands of products in the palm of your hand.